Baroness Golding, distinguished guests, members, welcome to the Association of British Bookmakers annual general meeting. The year that we left behind, 2010, was much better than 2009. There was less anxiety about the economy. The public had the £22 billion windfall of low mortgage rates, and we had the World Cup. The results were generally more favourable, and there was a genuine feeling that perhaps the worst was over. I went to a stockbrokers investment conference the other day, and the chief economist asked of the audience, what is your biggest fear? Is it the prospects that there could be a double-dip recession or inflation? And he asked for a show of hands. And 95% responded that their biggest fear was inflation. Not surprising when you see rises that have taken place on fuel and food. Retail sales figures for January and February point to an economy that is beginning to slow, and government cuts in expenditure have not as yet really begun to bite. And from April, we will see housing benefit cut, increase in national insurance, and the local authority cuts, which will reduce employment. So we face the prospect of inflation and falling demand, similar to a period in the 1970s when the term stagflation was the soundbite that summed up what economic life was like. So there can be little doubt that the remainder of 2011 is going to be a tough year for our customers, and that means a tough year for the betting shop business. The recent determination of the levy by the Secretary of State was the worst possible result for independent bookmakers. It was a decision that seemed not to take account of the bookmakers' capacity to pay. It was a decision where the quantum was the only relevance. And this was a huge win for horse racing. The Secretary of State is under the illusion that racing for change is seen as racing trying to put its house in order. I can recall similar exercises that have amounted to absolutely nothing. Indeed, they are what they are, a charade, to convince the minister that racing needs time to adjust. Please keep the levy. So we have a new government, a new minister, and a new learning curve. It is refreshing to note that during these very difficult times, both bankers and horse racing people are to be immune from the pain felt by everyone else. You couldn't make it up. Well, that's enough from me. This is Patrick's last year as Chief Executive. He came in 2 years ago and has worked extremely hard, has been in top of the brief at all times, and he will be sorely missed. He leaves the ABB in a very good state. Our balance sheet is stronger than when he came, and we're grateful to him. So I'd now like to introduce Patrick, and please give him a warm welcome. It's his last.